Oh, how nice of you to join me. So, we're going to talk about strategic Battlefront and how it's done. Some people don't know how to play the game, so I went ahead and made this as a precautionary measure because a lot of people... It's a little complicated, but not that complicated. So, I can show you right here. So, on this thing, when you first walk in, you're going to want to pick a preset. And on the preset, there's going to be like a couple of options that you can choose from. Balance, type, speed, power. They've all got their different types. Like the balance type has an M4 and a hollow sight and a scar with some basic stats. You got speed type with a handgun and a deagle or something. So there's also that. Or you want to use the anti-material rifle. There's all types. And you have to double click it every time. It's going to tell you to press again to apply down here. And then once you do, you have it activated. And then you're going to have a graph over here like I do. But for this is my own like custom thing. And you don't have to select a preset. You can take all of these sliders, set them to 0 if you wanted to. And then... essentially just... You can essentially just pick whatever things you want, generally. It doesn't have to be specific. You can customize your build however you want. You're working with probably about 100 skill points with nothing, generally. That's the idea. But yeah. And then once you pick out your loadout or whatever, you want to come to this side. I'm going to drop this right here because this is like one of the more important things. Okay, so for this, you're going to click main weapon, start with this one thing. Now you don't click this yet, just grab it. Click on your avatar's hip right here, this box right there, make sure it's glowing like mine is. Then you take it, click it where you want it, it'll say position set, and you let go of it. You do that for sub weapon, your magazine, your zip line, and your map terminal, but no one really uses a map terminal because that's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, that's the idea. There's a lot of guns. There's tons and tons of guns in here. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Let's see. Okay. So in here, you've got your main weapons, you've got your sub weapons. I can put it a little closer. Jesus. Okay, that's the idea. Yeah, there's like MP5s, there's a P90, MP9 Vector, and some guns will let you choose the sight you can use. You can use a tube dot sight. You can use that, or you want to put a hollow sight on it. A 4 sight, you can put a 4 times scope or even a 30 scope. You can put it wherever you want. You can even go forward or backward with the mounting position thing down here. But I'm gonna use the MP5 as an example to get us started. And so once you have the weapons you need, you just click test fire, grab your weapon, pull it back. You have to cock your gun every single time you pick it up. Every time you die, every time you test something in the range, always gotta cock it. You test it on the range. Drop your mag. You see this box? I don't think you guys can see it, but there's gonna be a cube that spawns in front of you, wherever you have it. And once you grab it, it turns into your mag. Like, no matter what weapon it is, whatever weapon you're holding. You put it in, cock it again. You're ready. When you're done with that, you finish test. You can use shotguns, handguns, assault rifles, DMRs, light machine guns, heavy machine guns. But I'll try to go through some of them more. Like, let's say I want to use an MG4 or something. So I want to use a M249. So click test fire. This big thing. Now it's prone to jam every now and again, so you'll have to like consistently cock it. And then after a while it'll click. You'll have to do that again. Heavy machine guns are a little different. They're emplacement weapons. So based on where you stand, you have to click simultaneously. Both controllers initiates gun placement. Only when uninstalled zipline can be used. So you test fire, you just click, and then it'll start. It'll form a circle on the ground. It spawns this thing. You just pull it back and shoot from wherever. It does a lot of damage. So you could put this on a choke point, you could put this anywhere you want. Now as far as picking it up, I think you have to click the triggers again. Sniper rifles. When you have a sniper rifle, your enemy marker is hidden, so they don't even know where you're at. I mean, you can still see if you have nameplates on, but like, there's like an indicator that shows up on your head, like the direction of like where an enemy's at, so you wouldn't be seen. But these also have armor-piercing rounds, which means if the enemy is wearing armor, it deals half damage to armor and half to HP. When armor is destroyed, the remaining armor is added to the HP damage. Good for taking out people who have armor. Generally. Now, an anti-material rifle will destroy a target's armor in a single blow. And HP damage is reduced according to the armor value worn by the enemy. So if you have a lot of armor, I'm pretty sure, now don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure that you take more damage. Or if you have less armor, the less armor you have, the more damage it does to your HP. Like that, like how it should work. You shouldn't take more damage if you have more armor. That's the idea. Some guns you can't, they'll have strength requirements. All these weapons do right here. Let me just pull this. Let me take this off. So for this, they have stats. We've got capacity, damage, firing interval, how fast you can shoot, reload, how long it takes, your damage range, shot grouping. I don't know what that means. But wait, this is your strength requirement. So if your strength requirement is not what this is over here, so let's say, oh, my strength wants to be like, I don't know, something like that, and you want to try to use that, you can't use that weapon. You cannot use this weapon if your strength is too low, because you're also using this. Now, if you didn't want to carry a secondary, you just click no sub weapons, and now you can carry this. However you want to do it. It's all personal preference at that point. It's all personal preference. There's also a couple of other weird things, like some guns overheat, like this minigun that you're about to see. So after X amount of time, this gun will overheat, but it does a lot of damage. You let it overheat, it's going to take you probably like 10 seconds. So you want to refrain from overheating because, during this time, you're pretty much fucked. And you move very slow with the minigun, of course. If you wanted to go and approach and do like a ballistic shield and a fucking handgun, you can also do that too. And use this. This blocks bullets. But unfortunately, each player has like a rectangle hitbox, so if the shield is not covering the rectangle hitbox, you're just still gonna get hit. Like they can shoot your feet or something if you're not covering your whole body. So that's kind of the thing about that. I haven't seen anybody use it, but that's pretty much that. When it comes to stats, when it comes to actual stats, like the stat sheet, You've got hit points, which affects your HP. You know, you want a lot of HP. You know, you put that up. You got like 600 max if you wanted to. But you know, I don't ever do that. But me personally, I run like a speed build. Stamina affects how long you can sprint, pretty much. So more stamina means more sprint. Strength, you know, is how many heavy weapons you can carry. Dexterity affects your gun's operation and reload speed. I think it just affects fire rate. Agility, you know, speed. Now you're probably wondering, what in the world is intelligence? So I'll go ahead and pull that up for intelligence. There's a couple of things. Intelligence, more types of ziplines are available. So for tier 0, so everyone has access to this. Normal and long types, you know. To switch between them, like it says, to switch, you have a zipline gun, right? You set the right stick up and down. But if you have more points into intelligence, you get access to different types of ziplines. You get the optimized form type, which is, I don't even know. I haven't actually used these ziplines, I'm gonna be honest with you. But I'm pretty sure like you either move faster, but the durability of the zipline is broken. You can actually shoot ziplines. And speed type, you know, fast, super fast zipline. That's probably like low durability. Tier 3 is like a better version of the tier 1. And tier 4 is just a better version of the tier 2. If you care about different types of ziplines for different situations, you know? If you care about that. I don't. Let's see. Is there anything else I need to cover in this? Some weapons are grayed out for plays. So, like, if you're not a Patreon user, you can't use shit like the, I think you can use most of the tier 6 stuff. I mean, you can, but some guns are grayed out, like for handguns. Some people can't use the Desert Eagle or the Smith & Wesson 500. Unless you're like a supporter or some shit. But guns have damage fall off, so on and so forth. There's tons of builds to make. Generally. Oh, no. But that is pretty much that, I think. I've already shown you how to, like, you know, calibrate your stuff. And make sure you do this stuff, the calibration stuff, when you click it. Like I showed you earlier. You have to do it one at a time. You can't do them all at the same time or anything like that. That's not how that works. Oh, the most important thing, though. The most important thing is the English button for people who haven't been here before, so that your shit's in English, because I can't read all those karate words in Japanese. And this purely preference. How you want background volume up or down, you know, if you care about that. Double tap interval for your sprint, or just make it auto like me, because it doesn't matter. You want to use it as soon as you get it to move faster on the map, because some maps can be big, some maps can be small. It depends on how many players there are. Okay. Now some of you probably saw at the very top the training ground. It doesn't really work. Like the 1v1 thing right here that I tried yesterday with a couple of friends, it doesn't work. So I would ignore this for now, because this game is still in alpha. This game is still in alpha right now. But it works pretty well for an alpha game, I'll say that much. And there's a CQC thing over here. It kind of works. It tests like your aim or something, you know, based on headshots or whatever you can run through with whatever gun. You know, you got score, break down base point targets, and how you do it. So if you're quick, you know, you can get a high score, but you know, if you're too slow, take your time, you won't get as high a score. Kind of like Ramu's test gun range, kill house, kind of. And every time you go through it, enemies are in different places. Every time. But I think that about covers everything. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. And if you have any questions, you know, if I missed something, you know, come to me about it. And I'll see you on the battlefield, gamer.